What up, y'all? What up? Welcome to another episode of What's Up Cuzzo podcast. Uh, with your two favorite cousins. One of us is currently not in attendance, but it's all good. How y'all feeling out there, man? How are y'all doing? Happy Friday. Happy Friday to y'all. Let me sit up in an upright position. Uh, man, how y'all feeling now? How's y'all day going? Um, we got a lot to talk about because things have happened, surely, and always. Things will continue to happen every single freaking day. Man, we got a war going on potentially. Well, it could potentially escalate to a world war. We don't know. That's what some are speculating. Man, we got war in these cities. We got people who are they can't even go get a smoothie without expressing themselves. And we got more on the cities of this wonderful wonderful country. Some of the major cities are having challenges, and is there any common denominator? And then there's a new game out there, a new game launching, and it's an interesting game. We'll take a look at that. What else do we have? If we could get to it, we got Jasmine Crockett getting voted out. She didn't win the election, and so she is out. And I think the last thing what we got to cover. What does it take to support your lifestyle? What dollar amount is that? I'm going to talk about that as well. So let us jump right into it. I'm going to start off with this, with a feel-good story. Let's see.
Can we just take a moment to process this, Sam and John? I don't even think that when I was taking my college courses that I could at the time, when we were of age, those were really hard to take. But for this fourth grader, oh my goodness, we are so proud of little Miss Honey. She's doing an amazing job. And according to school officials, she could be the first of others to follow in her footsteps.
She is very, very, very brilliant. She is dedicated. She is passionate. She loves learning.
We're learning how to construct decimals into fractions.
It's what's typical of a fourth grader like Honey Cooper, learning fractions, science, and Honey's favorite.
I really do like to read.
Okay, what's your favorite book?
My favorite book is Augie and Me.
But what's not typical of this fourth grader is that she's duly enrolled at Kimbark Elementary School and in a college course at San Bernardino Valley College.
It's very different because in my fourth grade class, there's like a lot of people, like 33 people. And in the art class, there's only like 12 people.
Even though she's in the fourth grade, Honey's about at a seventh grade math level with reading. She's probably at a high 12th grade.
Mom Mia Cooper says Honey didn't babble or talk much as a baby, but by 18 months, things started to change. Honey, the youngest of 5, eventually taught herself how to read. After noticing Honey's gift, Assistant Superintendent of Student Services Sandra Rodriguez intervened. She had previously seen a young homeschool student taking a college course.
I'm like, you know what? We can have public school kids go to San Bernardino Valley College. So I asked Mia what she thought about that and if she thought that Honey might be interested.
And she was. Honey started taking a college art class this month. I asked her how she manages.
It really is a lot, but if you can really just balance and if you really balance it, and it could go really smoothly well.
As for what she dreams of becoming when she grows up,
I either want to be a surgeon, artist or a fashion designer.
One of the beautiful things that I think that this entire story really demonstrates is that when you raise the bar for students, they will reach it, and they will even blow your mind and exceed it.
All right, Sam and John. So there's one thing that Honey's mom tells me she has a little trouble with. Maybe you can guess.
Oh gosh.
Any options? Any guesses?
Well, she reads books, like physical books. So I don't know if it's screen time.
She does.
Social media.
It's keeping her room clean.
Amazing.
Clean.
Yeah.
Well, she has a flaw.
You know, kids will be kids.
There you go. But she's great nonetheless.
And
we love you, Miss Honey.
And adorable.
I'll just stop it right there. So, man, shout out to Honey. Man, that's crazy. You hear about students in high school, you know, taking college courses, you know, and I find out what course it is that she's taking. But then you see and hear about these types of stories that are amazing, that you have a elementary, you know, school, a girl in elementary who's taking a college course, and this is a program that they're starting to offer. You know, there's other countries out there that prioritize learning. There's other cultures that prioritize learning and things like that. And I think America, in some instances, has gotten away from those types of things. And so, you know, shout out to her, shout out to her parents for seeing this and actually nurturing this particular thing. Because, you know, I'll just be honest, in the Black community, you know, when you're smart, when you're intelligent, you know, you're called a nerd. I mean, actually, in other cultures too, you're called a nerd. And a nerd is looked down on sometimes, you know. But when you think about it, nerds are the ones who have inventions that help change the world. You know, there's so many people you can name. You know, Zuckerberg. You know, we saw the story. Those who saw the Facebook story, he was looked at as a nerd. I mean, he had a couple of his buddies, but they was hard nerds too. You know, Bill Gates, you know, him and Microsoft, you know, so nerds are the ones that change the world. And I, you know, as long as she keeps that same trajectory, you know, it looks like she has a thirst for learning and a thirst for becoming better. As long as she keeps that mindset, you know, it's up for her, pretty much. It's up for her. You know, she has a bright future ahead of her. And for her to teach herself how to read at, you know, 2 years old, or 2 years old, 3 years old, I forgot exactly what age they said, is crazy. Like, you know, at that age, like, kids thinking about playing with toys and, you know, things like that. But I definitely, that's why I said shout out to the parents, because this has to be a behavior that is nurtured. And you have to see it. You have to put these things in front of your kids, so your kids will be exposed to these things. You know, because what you expose them to is what they, you know, tend to grasp onto. You know, if you expose them to more screen time, if you expose them to, you know, playing with toys all the time, like that's the stuff that they are exposed to, and that's the type of things that they're going to, you know, attach themselves to. So it's important that we, you know, attach them to, you know, things that are of importance, things that could help them grow, things that will foster a mindset of wanting to learn and wanting to, you know, be a productive citizen in the world. And I mean, you know, nothing's wrong with a movie, you know, or two occasional. You know, of course you want the kids to play, but too much screen time is a bad thing. It's funny. Me and my coworker were talking today about attention spans and distractions and things like that. And I think that we've been exposed to too much social media, too much, movie and show watching, that our attention spans are so bad, and it's going to continue to get worse and worse and worse. And I think the reason why that was brought up actually because I brought up to him and my other coworkers that this generation, did research and they said this generation is the first generation to be dumber than the previous generation. And he kind of attributed that to screen time. And I agree, but also agree that there's access to so much knowledge, so much information that people don't put in the time to create a skill behind what they're doing. Like they just, what, I have this paper to do. I'm gonna just run it through ChatGPT or whatever other AI platform. What, I want to learn this. I'm gonna, just get the quick answer, but you don't want to like actually deep dive into it and learn more about it so you could teach somebody. I was told that if you can learn something, enough to where you could teach it, then you kind of got that thing down pretty good. So shout out to her, man. Elementary school young lady enrolled in college courses. That's dope. Shout out to her. And we on to the next one. Cause you on here? Oh, there you go. What up,
No doubt. What up? What up? What's good?
Oh man, we chilling.
Sorry for my tardiness. Yeah, I was just on a different time schedule today. I had my son's Black History program, and then had a couple of stops to make. So, and I got work being done at the house, so I got totally thrown off my game. So I had an off night on the court. You know what I'm saying? We all have off nights.
It's all good.
But I'm back. I'm back. Fourth quarter. Let's go.
At least you didn't tear your Achilles or nothing. You know what I'm saying? You're not out for the season, so we good.
Nah, I'm good, man. I just got some Gatorade or some coconut water and get back in the game.
You didn't hurt your elbow like LeBron did. He hurt one elbow, and then when they picked him up, it was the other elbow. So I was trying to.
Right.
There's none of that going on, is it? You're trying to load manage.
Nah.
Oh, okay. I thought you might have been trying to load manage or something.
No, I'm definitely managing the load, but not load manage. So there's a difference. Yeah.
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
So on to the next thing. So we talked about Honey. She's in elementary school and she's actually taking a college course. So we talked about her. Next, it's this game that's coming out. And I thought it was kind of funny. I thought it was fake, but we're gonna check it out and see what it do. Let's see here.
Sorry, we're all out of half and half.
You can only do an exchange.
No, breadsticks are extra.
I'm sorry, ma'am. That's our policy.
I just thought that was funny. Yeah. They should have helped me design that game, but
Man.
Karen.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that game, man?
I mean, listen, man. If it's definitely a game that's real, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot of people streaming them online, playing it on Twitch. Like I think it can get some traction for sure. She has some good moves, whipping that head, tearing people's stuff up. So yeah, it'll be an interesting game. I'm pretty sure a lot of people won't like it because they'll feel triggered. But
Karens.
in all fun, yeah, I can see that game being popular amongst the kids. It'll be like a genre for sure.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I'm over here trying to multitask. But
No,
yeah,
you
man.
good.
I thought it was funny, man, because like you could make a game for a whole lot of things, and that's pretty right up the alley. Like she didn't get her way, and she just started tearing everything up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they should have. I don't know how the entire flow of the game, but I would have added some items in there where she didn't mind her own business, where she was listening to people talk and she put her 2 cents in, but we'll see. I'll be interested to check it out, man, myself. Hopefully they put it on Xbox Game Pass so I can see what it looks like. I've been actually trying to find different games to play.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I've been playing 2K and 2K'd out. I done played Grand Theft Auto. I'm like one of those people waiting for Grand Theft Auto 6.
I was about to say you got the new one. I was like, is everybody still looking for it?
Yeah, they said that's coming out in 2029. I don't know.
2030. It's waiting for people to
2045.
die.
Yeah,
Right,
I retire.
exactly.
When I retire, it's gonna be out. So we'll see. We'll see what they do. We still be waiting. Let me see this land to be given back to somebody else when that happens. But let me see. Let me see, Karen. I got that. So let me close these as let me see what it's. Oh, yeah, here we go. So yeah, man, we got a Karen out there actually who, let me see, let me do that. I'm sharing that one. Here we go. Share this one. Perfect. So, Karens are not always white. I'll just say that. We got a couple who was refused service in Smoothie King. So let's check it out and see what happened.
A man who was refused service at an Ann Arbor Smoothie King for wearing a Trump shirt speaking out on camera for the first time. The video of the two employees telling him and his wife to leave has gone viral. Smoothie King has apologized, but as Fox 2's Scott Wolchek tells us, that apology may not mean too much.
We were just wanting a smoothie, and you literally looked at us, and I asked you if everything was okay. You said, we don't feel comfortable serving you because of my husband's hoodie. Yes. That is discrimination. Okay, well, have a great day.
It's a video gone viral. A local man denied service at an Ann Arbor Smoothie King for wearing this shirt. So what does it say on there?
This shirt says, Trump, take America back 2024.
Do you think there's anything offensive about your shirt?
I guess there is to some people.
It's something Jacob Lindemeyer has learned all too well ever since he felt like grabbing a smoothie on Monday at the Jackson Road Smoothie King. He says he goes there all the time, but Jacob was denied his smoothie. What he has received, he says, are death threats.
You better watch your back. We know where you live. And this is like thousands and thousands and thousands of messages. Never in my life would I have ever thought that I would be getting death threats over my political beliefs.
Hey, you know that's a crime, right?
It's not.
Discrimination.
We have the right to refuse service here, and that's what we
Not due to political views, though.
We've worked so hard to get where we're at now. Like, I'm an entirely different person than I used to be.
You muted.
First,
Yeah. That's no bueno. I think is two things happening here. One, yes, the worker was probably triggered, and then two, they got wind of it and made it a story to where it's way bigger than it really was. Like thousands and thousands of death threats from who? Nobody even knows you. How are you getting death threats? I don't get it. And then, yes, you have the right to refuse service to anyone you want to, but if you tell them the reason why, yeah, then you can be sued, because I can feel like I'm being discriminated against, for whatever my religious or political views are, So based on your store policy, how can you refuse me service, especially if this is a public business, So I'm pretty sure they're going to sue that store, that chain store, and they're going to get some money for it. They're going to settle out of court, whatever the settlement agreement is, and it's gonna go away. But just being triggered by a shirt, it's kind of like a black person seeing somebody walking in with like a hoodie on, a white hoodie, and then they triggered by that, because of someone's past, but because everybody believes Trump is racist, that's the talking point. Everybody believes Trump, has ruined America. That's the feeling, that's the sentiment that everybody is triggered because they were told to be, So it's just unfortunate that we see it how we see it. So, what you got, Khalil?
I think part of the problem is, well, I'm sorry, the first problem I have with this is that it's not your damn store. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not the owner, you're not the franchisee of this location. And I heard this before, and I had to really think about it and consider what this person was saying. And this is a different subject, but I'm gonna bring it back. Somebody said that we like to put like black owned or black this, black that, which is cool. But what you do is you limit the amount of people that you display or that you want to patronize your business. And so, I get that, a lot of us don't necessarily like him because we heard we're not supposed to like him, because of some things that he supposedly did in the past, and because he was convicted, and because he did something to black people or don't like black people. But these people don't have a thought of their own. Like, what, you don't have any proof of any of these things. You, as soon as you start to ask them, can you give me examples? Nobody has an example of any of these things that he claims to have. He being Trump, that he claims to have. Nobody wants to give you concrete evidence as to what he did. And guess what? There may be some things that are legitimate, but nobody could tell me what they are. It's usually just derangement. It's usually just you got mental issues. Like, that's the Karen to me right there. The girl, she was a Karen. Like, what if I went into a store with a sweater that said Black Power on it, with the fist up like that, and somebody refused me service? Let somebody go into a white location where it's predominantly white, and they got Black Power on their sweater, and they get refused service. Let me find out what happens. Y'all gonna be on their head. Shut this restaurant down. Shut this location down. They shouldn't be in business no more. Let that happen. But it's okay that this man and his wife get denied a smoothie because of the sweater he had on. And it wasn't anything derogatory. Now, I've had to say FBs or something like that, or Bees ain't SHI. Like, okay, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. But I go back to it. This is not your location to deny service. They didn't do anything wrong. They didn't cuss you out. They didn't They even after you denied them service, they didn't say they was gonna fight you. They didn't say they didn't do anything egregious. But you just got triggered because of what type of sweater he had on. And to go back to what I was saying before, Black owned, we only allow people, certain people, we cut down on the people that we have patronizing our business, which is, guess what, cutting into the money. You denying people with Trump only sweaters on is cutting into the money. And the worst thing about it, it's not your money. Is it in your policy to deny them service because of that? I mean, I guess it may not say what. Maybe it's something that you use best judgment about. But was that your best judgment? The manager supposedly got triggered about his sweater, and you tell him to get out. Bye. And the problem with this is I really didn't want to do this because I didn't want to give her any more publicity that she already has. Because I'm sure her social media is trending. I'm sure, people are commenting on her posts. And so guess what? That's putting dollars in her pocket, which makes her probably think that she's right. She's 100% wrong in this instance. And, somebody needs to tell her. But maybe she doesn't have anybody around her to tell her that she's wrong because they believe the same thing that she does. And supposedly, I don't know if you heard, but supposedly, she and the other lady was fired, for that. And the Smoothie King supposedly apologized to the individual. Man, I want unlimited smoothies for life. That's what I want. Hey, we settle out of court. Hey, I need unlimited smoothies. What does that entail? I want whatever I want in them. I need unlimited smoothies for life. And I need to be able to pass that down to my son. Hey, when you go in here, you go to Smoothie King. I don't care if they change your name. Hey, we need that smoothie. We need it. Yes, sir. So, you have anything else, Carla, you wanted to share on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just hypocritical, when you on one end allow something to happen like this, and then on the other end you want outrage, you want marches in the street, so let the door swing both ways is what I would say. I get the sentiments, I get in terms of the history, it's not considered the same thing, but essentially it is, when you denying somebody the right, to do what they do. It's just like, that scene in Life. I came in here to get some pie and a cup of coffee. We've been driving for a long time. These are whites only pies.
How much do I gotta give you? Right. To make these,
to turn them into some nigga pies.
Right.
How about I turn y'all into some nigga pie? He was like, you said about 30 miles down the road? Okay, let me go that way.
Really?
Yeah. Peace
How
out.
far you down you say that was?
Yeah. You said what about 30 miles? All right, I'm gonna get on out of here. So essentially we can say, yeah, that's the same thing, which we understand it's not in terms of, the gravity of it, but merit-wise, it can be considered the same thing, or it is the same thing, because you're denying somebody the right to patronize a public location, in a free country, and then you're doing that based on your feeling on their political views, not the color of their skin. I get it, but it could be, the lines can be drawn or they can be blurred and say, yeah, because I'm white and I had a Trump shirt on. They can keep saying one thing after another, or they can say another thing or another thing,
Right.
So, yeah, where do you draw the line,
Yeah, and I'll just say this, man. I know I might get a bad rap for this, but they might call me a COO. You know what I'm saying? Let me put on my glasses so I seem non-threatening. I would say when I was younger, experienced some people of another race saying things to me, like maybe a couple times I have. Just be honest. But they never said it face to face with me where I could actually do anything about it.
Of course not.
Right. But I would say this. We always like to hold those people accountable, but we rarely want to hold some of our people accountable, because I know in my family, I've heard some crazy things said about the other color, and it's fine. And nobody says anything because it's what we could do, and it's allowed to be said without anybody addressing it. And so we like to call them racist or bigots or whatever you want to call it, whatever term you want to add to it. But we have a lot of that going on in our families, in our culture too, and it's not addressed. But anyway, I'm not gonna go deep in that because y'all gonna be on my head. But man, we need to be 100 though. It happens.
Yeah.
We call them Brits. You know what I'm saying? We call them. We talk about how they dance. We talk about a whole lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? That we may not deem as that, but it could be looked at. If they said the same thing about us, it'd be a problem. Just saying.
Yeah, but they have though. So that's the back and forth we get.
Well, yeah,
we've seen
I
minstrel shows and blackface performed on stage.
Sure.
So long before we said anything, that was being done to us or said by us. So there is a trail or residue of traumatic experiences that permeate throughout our existence, our families. So it's easy to trigger one, when you think about or even, mention, racism. It's used as a weapon, instead of a teaching tool. It's used as a weapon against you, for us, however you want to look at it.
And yeah, I agree with you. What I'm saying is, I'm saying that it's not looked at as if it's wrong, even though it's residue, even though it's wounds that are probably still open from different generations. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's not looked at as sorry. Just because we have this residue doesn't mean it's right, is what I'm trying to say. And it's something that we could be using that energy to push us further forward. And I mean, I have a whole lot. I don't want to go down that road right now because I want to address these topics, but we should be focused on moving our people forward and not, concerning ourselves with some of that stuff. But anyway, I will move on to the next topic. Let me take my glasses back off. All right. No, actually, let me leave those on because I can see better. Anyway, Cuzzo, let's see. Let me close this. Let me open this. We go local. Oh, share this tab. Local. All right, so this is something that I kind of added on because I heard of two major cities having issues as it relates to their economy. So the first one I'm going to play is San Francisco. I might play them like back to back because this one is 1 minute and then the other one is a couple minutes. So let me do that. And then, yeah, there we go. All right.
Francisco plans to cut hundreds of jobs at City Hall in the latest effort to address a huge budget crisis. ABC 7 Eyewitness News reporter Zach Fuentes is live in San Francisco. Zach, the mayor says these cuts will help save, what, $100 million?
That is what they're wanting departments to say. That came to the department heads in an email sent by the mayor's budget office. And ABC 7 Eyewitness News did just acquire that email this morning. It says cuts proposed last month by each department don't go far enough to close the deficit facing the city. And that deficit is a historic one. It's $807.
Why are their voices the same? They sound so, they say the S's like this. I don't know why.
$77 million. And with personnel taking up a large portion of the budget, department heads are now being asked to cut that $100 million in personnel spending. In the email, the mayor's budget office said about the $100 million that it, quote, equates to a reduction of at least 500 budgeted positions across the general fund. Went on to say that based on the MBO analysis of current vacancy rates, meeting this target requires eliminating filled positions. Now, the department heads are being told to revisit budget staffing levels and look at things like management structure and overtime management. We did reach out to Mayor Lurie's office, who said he was not available to speak until later this morning. So for now, department heads have to submit their staffing recommendations to the mayor's budget office by March 12th. Live in San Francisco, Zach.
All right, so I'm going to play this one next. So this is Chicago. We could talk about them kind of together.
Chicago's mayor and its city council going to be political infighting between Chicago's mayor and its city council going to be costly for taxpayers. The city's credit was downgraded, and experts say that will mean higher borrowing costs. NBC5's Rose Schmidt is live in our newsroom right now to break down what that will mean. Rose?
Well, Allison, this is really about the city's ability to pay back its long-term debt. And financial experts tell me the rating agencies are looking at Chicago right now and seeing a dysfunctional government.
For shame on that.
The 2026 budget cycle was contentious, and two credit agencies took note, downgrading Chicago's credit one notch.
We're borrowing money to pay for the firefighter back pay under the new collective bargaining agreement. We're borrowing money to pay for judgments and settlements that were already in the pipeline. And so they'll be just a little bit more costly for that.
The agencies cited the friction between Mayor Brandon Johnson and council and the city's financial challenges.
If I buy City of Chicago bonds, I'm probably going to have those bonds for 10 years or 15 years or 20 years. And so credit rating is meant to give an investor an understanding of just how likely it is that they'll get their money back.
The Johnson administration wants to reassure people these ratings actions do not change the city's day-to-day operations. But University of Chicago professor Justin Marlowe estimates this will mean $3 to $5 million a year in additional borrowing costs.
And to put that in context, that'd be roughly the equivalent of, say, a neighborhood fire crew.
Last year, a group of alders disagreed with the mayor's controversial head tax on large companies, so they took it out and crafted their own plan. Johnson's administration now says, like the ratings agencies, it's also concerned about that final budget and the lack of structural revenue sources. But the alders say the credit challenges are the result of ongoing budget mismanagement, not our amendments to the mayor's proposed budget that ultimately made it more financially responsible. Here's the Civic Federation's advice for the next budget cycle.
The government has to work together as a whole on the issues that have been over and over again stated and identified.
There we go. So I'll stop it right there. Cuzzo, what is going on in these cities? Unmute yourself.
Yeah, I mean, what you're seeing is just, you know, the systems being bled dry, you know, budgets being cut back, cities, it's like a restructure, you know. I don't have like the exact answers, but this is just from what I hear and what I see and what I know based on experience, you know, from living as short a time as I live, you know, now that I see and understand things, you can kind of see what's happening. They're not trying to make things better. They are just plugging up the holes, and there's bigger and bigger holes, every year, and there's not enough, band-aids to cover up these patches. It's not enough. What's that infomercial?
Which one?
I don't forget what it was called. Dang, what's it called? But whatever. But it's not enough. It's not enough caulking, to cover up, these seams that are bursting out in these cities. And then you can see in these certain cities how the agendas have been going, and these are Democratic cities. Let's put that on notice. We have
Trending.
San Francisco.
Trending.
We have
Chicago.
These are all the cities that have been allowed to raise prices and have prices so high, or take in sanctuary cities, or take in asylum cities, or take in people from other places, and they're not giving you anything to refill your coffers or put anything into your economy.
Cooking.
And then the people that are already here that need help, that want the help, are not getting the help. So what do you expect to happen? What are you complaining about? You went along with the agenda, so what did you think that was going to happen?
They was just going to tax the rich. That's it.
Well, as you can see, the rich can just up and leave and go to another state. Simple as that. You can't stop me. It's a free country, right?
We like to think so.
We like to think so. But everyone's playing the game. It just depends on at what level you're playing the game. Of course, you have the chessboard. You have the pawns, which is the people, the citizens. You got your knights, your rooks, your kings, your queens.
The pawns?
Yeah, the pawns, yeah.
They get sacrificed kind of easy.
They get sacrificed all the time. So, I mean, I think that's what's happening. You're seeing the chess pieces fall. You're seeing pawns being sacrificed. You got a war going on, and that's another story. And it's like, how do you have money for war, but then you have your cities barely, have money to run? Like, what is really going on here? Everyone's complaining about, oh, everything's so high because of the tariff. No, everything's high because you guys have been giving away free money, and still giving away free money today.
Oh, he cooking.
So that's why everything's so high. And everything off to the side, when you see it happening, you can kind of attribute it to that, but it's not that. It's not directly to that. It makes you feel better because you can kind of control, your thought process. That makes more sense, other than, oh, my Democratic Party has, sold us over, a hill or a bridge or whatever you want to say. The people who say that are in charge are not really in charge. Because if they were, how would they allow the things to happen in the way that it does? Like, what is the meaning behind it? What is the real reason? And then you hear like, okay, it wasn't really a pandemic. Like, you start to hear everything. You want people to focus on, oh, well, Epstein. Nobody cares about that. What they do care about is the people that are still
distractions.
Nobody cares about it in terms of it's not going to help, what's currently happening to you and your economy.
Right.
It just makes you feel good because you think something else is going to come out of it, or nothing's going to come out of it.
Right. Yeah. They think that, Trump is going to be implicated and he's going to get arrested and he's going to be out of office and their life is going to be so much better. That's really what they think. But
I mean, I think people want a head, they want Trump's head, of course, but they want heads. They want a head, give us something,
Right.
All these things that you have happening, and you're not protecting the people from it. You're allowing it to happen.
Right.
And you don't expect people to have high confidence in you when you are continually allowing those things to happen and not doing anything about it, not allowing justice to take place. See, that's why I like the Batman movie, Dark Knight Rises, with Bane, and he was just telling everybody exactly what was happening.
Right.
What I see today is what happened in that movie. People want to eat the rich. Yeah, people want to eat the rich, People want, anarchy. They want, the public or the city to be able to take over and take down these politicians, and have them all in one room, and hold them hostage. And I forgot the clip I seen. It was a guy. He was like, yeah, he said, just start shooting politicians. You start shooting politicians, you're going to have something different happen. Yeah, just start killing politicians. He's like, no, are you serious? That's not good. It's like, yeah. I mean, what else is there? Nothing else is going to change unless there's violence. We don't call for violence, but violence is necessary for things that actually happen. It doesn't happen peacefully. It happens through violence. And what you have now happening to you is economic violence.
Okay. I'm glad.
Financial violence.
Yeah.
Political violence.
It's crazy.
So those are how things are going to change, because it's anarchy. And the only thing people can do is sit back and wait. When you sit back and wait, you just allow things to happen to you.
Yeah, I think that we got sold out a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. Martin Luther King did it.
Man. Oh man! Oh, is that what his dream was about? Oh,
Jesse Jackson helped. He helped. He was out there up there pointing in that
Jesse
dumb
said
picture.
we are somebody, man.
We are somebody. That's why they keep messing with us. We can't do nothing about it. They gave me some money, so I'ma just shut up and keep telling y'all to be quiet.
Yeah. Yeah, man. These cities, to your point, he was cooking. They're all Democratic cities. He was cooking. We were giving away money for the longest, and now when it's time to check those books,
we ain't got it.
The books is not looking right.
Them books is cooked.
The books is cooked for sure. Clip that for sure.
God, lay to the side. Don't even come over here.
Man, bro. We have to come to an understanding. We need to stop and step back and look at what's going on. Like, you guys put your faith and your money into these people, and they selling us out too.
Yeah.
Y'all talk so bad about, the president, and guess what? Some of the things I do not know why he's doing it. I know we have allegiance to a group of people that we've had allegiance to, don't matter who the president was, and I don't know why. However,
they control the money. That's why.
Well, yeah.
The financial system. That's why. Let's just call it what it is. I'm tired of people talking around it. Come on, man.
Well, hold on, man. I was trying to get to my point. We can address that another time. No, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah. It's cool.
Right. Call it what it is. I mean,
and so I get that, and y'all liked him before when he was on The Apprentice and stuff like that, but now y'all don't like him. Okay, I understand. Okay, whatever. Now,
Trying to see
Man, I
what
done lost
changed. Like, how did y'all like him before? What changed? He was racist. He was racist on when he was doing that.
He's on The Apprentice. Why'd you watch his show?
Why'd you watch his show? Why'd you go stay at his hotel?
Why did you stay at his hotels? Tell me why. I don't know, man. Anyway, it just amazes me, man, that what am I doing over here? That we've been sold out, man. And y'all need to come, like, step back and take a look at what's going on around you. We just talked about Gavin Newsom, how, you know, he's just like us, you know what I'm saying? How he sees you. And guess what? The reason why I bring up Trump is because he said, guess what? I'm going to do no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. And it's a little more involved than that, you know, because you get a certain percentage. And guess what? We'll talk more about it, but you get a certain percentage of the money deducted on your income tax. It's like a refund, not a refund, but a credit. And so, okay. Yeah. But guess what? At a federal level, that's honored. But I got a letter in the mail from my job saying at a federal level, we're going to honor this. But because California is not going to honor it, you're only going to receive that credit, or you can only receive that credit on a federal level. Why is it that our governor is blocking this to go through? Why is it that every time we look up, there's another tax? How do you think, like, that's the first thing that they think of when we need to make more money? Tax to drive, tax to on food, tax on this, tax. I actually want to play a video that Anton Daniels was talking this morning, and he said that his daughter came to him and he said, okay, Dad, let me get this right. So before we get paid, somebody that had no part in the work that we did, we got to pay them a tax. Yeah. And then when we get our money and we go pay for goods and services and for gas, we got to pay tax on the money that was already taxed. And then those companies that we buy the goods and services from, and they pay their employees, the employees get taxed on the money that they got paid. And when they go buy goods and services, they got to pay taxes for that too. And then the company, the money that they earn from us buying the goods and services, they got to pay taxes on that. His daughter was breaking this down. That's how it is. Like, that's crazy if you think about it. It's like a Ponzi scheme. Like they're getting us fist over dollar. How did we got to pay money on the taxes of the money that got taxed? Like, it's crazy. And when something happens, guess what? We gonna raise the property tax. Guess what? We gonna add in this every mile you drive tax, which is what they're looking into in California. Guess what? The more money you make, the more they're gonna tax you. Have you saw that movie Time, Cuzzo, with Justin Timberlake?
Yep. One of my favorite underrated movies.
Bro, we're gonna be paying taxes on our lifespan. That's how they live. You had to work and pay for time.
You already are. It's a metaphor. You're already paying for taxes on your lifespan.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Because think about it, all the money that you get is taxed. Even when you get your retirement check or your SSI, that's taxed too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what you guys have to realize out there is that politicians are supposed to work for you. They're supposed to take your tax dollars and manage those tax dollars appropriately to help push things forward to make your life better. But they had gotten way out of line and using the money to do what they want to do with it, what they think is going to be better. And these people don't know how to balance a checkbook. It's not their money. It's like playing with play money. It's not their money. So guess what? If it don't fail, guess what? We're going to get more tax dollars. Guess what? We're going to tax them. We're going to try to find another way to tax them. And they don't care. These people in Chicago are losing their houses because they're raising the property tax. You got people who are retired on fixed budgets that are losing their houses because they're raising the property taxes. Chicago, in particular, like, why is it that y'all credit rating got lowered? I'm gonna be honest, like, this is out of my wheelhouse, and I was just baffled by how can a city's credit rating get lowered, but apparently it can happen. I was trying to look into it and see what I could learn. So if they have to borrow money, guess what? You're getting denied. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to that. You know what I'm saying? I used to try to get a credit card. They said no. But I'm just a regular individual. I'm not used to that happen to one of the major cities in this country. Guess what? You're getting turned down for that loan. You're gonna have to use Afterpay and Klarna to get something else now, moving forward. Hey man, that's crazy to me. And then guess what? We talked about this before. Chicago leased out its parking meters to a private consortium for 75 years for $1.5 billion. A total mismanagement of the people's money. You know how much money that is that they missing out on? They missing out on billions and billions of dollars. 75 years? Imagine all the parking that's done in Chicago and parking meters for a year, and multiply that by 75. These is what our people, the people that we put in position, are doing for us. Me too. This, but this what they do. This is what they doing. They put in our money. This is how they're putting our money to use. They selling us out. Budget shortfall, $1 billion in Chicago. Budget shortfall, $1 billion in Los Angeles. Budget shortfall of $877 million in San Francisco. What's going on? Again, I'll just speak off of California because I know a little bit more about California. But Gavin Newsom hangs his hat on with the number 4 or 5 economy in the country, in the world. I think he said that, you know what? Let me see if I can find that. But it's so many $1 trillion that we take in a year.
Right.
If we taking in that amount of money, where is it going, bro?
We know where it's going.
I don't know. I know some places it's going, but I really don't know where. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I don't know where all that money is going. And that's the problem. That's the damn problem, because we just sit back and let them do what they want to do. And then we look up, oh, we got another tax. In a minute, man, like Cuzzo said last week, that middle class is going to be gone. You working 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs, that's going to be gone because the market is going to do like this. You got automation coming into play, and you got a lot of these jobs coming, like moving out the way. And guess what? It's going to smash you down. You're going to be paying taxes and taxes and taxes, and you're going to be poor.
Right.
That's what it's going to come to. You're not going to be able to get those side hustles like you used to. They're not going to be easy to get. And but you're going to need that side hustle.
For sure.
Because they're going to tax the hell out of you.
Man, I'm telling you.
Us. But anyway, man, I'm not going to beat that with it. We're going to continue to talk about it because things like this is going to continue to come up. There was a story out of Minnesota today with Tim Waltz. Did you see that one?
I saw it. Yeah.
Bro. Well, I'll just say briefly for those that didn't see it. There was a study done on the cases of autism, and there was an amount of funds that was given to the people who kids had autism. So in 2019, it was $600 some odd $1,000. In 2024, it was $330 million. So you're saying that the cases of autism went up 500%? That's crazy. Where's the money going, bro? Like some of these things you have to start to, when you start hearing about it, you like that don't make sense. And a lot of this stuff doesn't make sense. Like we getting sold down the river. They don't give a damn about how hard you work and the money that you need to provide for your family. But guess what? You see some of these other states saying like, "Oh, we're gonna get rid of income tax." Those are the ones that I think they care a little more. And guess what? That's like
Florida.
Guess who run those states?
Republicans.
Mississippi, same thing. And there's some more states out there, but there's a difference. Like I have a belief that we need somebody with a business mindset or somebody who has people with a business mindset around them to run this country, because they don't know how to balance the budget. First thing is tax you. That's it. But we'll move on to the next thing, man. I already beat that horse enough. Speaking of money. Speaking of money and taxes, hey man,
I already know where you about to go.
Hey man, if you're a man and you single out here, you gonna be paying another tax. Let's see. We had Aisha, I think that's her name, Diaz, on Earn Your Leisure podcast. Shout out to Earn Your Leisure. I like their Market Mondays. I think this is on their Blackout show, Blackout Wednesdays, I think. But anyway, let's run it and let's see what Miss Diaz has to say.
Okay, let's get to this. If you date somebody, right? I don't know what your relationship status is now, but what are you expecting on a monthly basis from financially?
From him?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm spoiled.
No, as soon as they said it's spoiled, it's going to be a ticket. Go ahead.
What's that mean? Just
what's that range?
Because it's good insight. Because we just have these hypothetical conversations all the time. But just somebody you're like in the top 1% of girls that's actually you're exposed to that life, right? Like so. Yeah. What is you say you're spoiled? What does that mean?
Spoiled means I need you to be able to keep up with my lifestyle if you want to be with me.
What does that mean?
Ladies, take notes. Take notes, because it'll work on the simp. I have a lifestyle I expect to keep.
You should be able to do it for me too. And if I can't depend on you to be able to handle what I have on my plate, then there's no reason for me and me and you to be together. Because that means you're gonna hold me back, and that means I'm gonna have to be looking out after you.
What about love?
What does that mean? Financially, what does that mean though? What does that mean? What does that mean on a monthly? What does that mean? Roughly.
Numbers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like 45, 50.
$50,000 a month. So you need $50,000 a month.
What is true? I can give you the paperwork right now.
Yes, sir. So she says she needs 45 to 55,000 to rock with her. How many of y'all fellas out there ready for that?
No, I'm not.
Y'all ready for 45 or $50,000? It's a no for me. I know some women out there do it for $45 and $50. You know what I'm saying? On a date. You know, if you know about her, she was in a lifestyle. I believe she was a stripper, but I know in particular she worked in a bar and was like did bottle service. And she said that some cats in there in the New York area, they come in there with like 20, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, 60,000, and ready to trick that money off. And a lot of times it's because they want to floss on the next dude, that they show that they got more money, and I think part of the problem is this. It's kind of like the politicians, you know what I'm saying? Like, they pull the wool over our eyes, man, and you allow these individuals like this to be shown a certain thing, and they make it a norm, and they believe that they could get this from anybody they want, because we got some cats out there that will do this. If you don't do the math, if you do 12 times 6, you know what I'm saying, 12 times 5, that's 60. So if you do the math, add another zero, so $600,000 a year just for her to do what? I don't know. She didn't say what that entails. Like, I mean, I'm not about to pay $600,000 for no, you know what I'm saying, for no cat. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to do that. Guess what? I know how to cook myself. You know what I'm saying? I know how to cook to survive, and I know how to do some little special things too. So what is it that you're doing that warrants $600K, and who is she talking to? Like, what type of people is paying her that amount of money to be around? I would like, I mean, it has to be like, athletes and people like that, who have the money, to do it. But, and are they doing it long term? I want to know that. Because I saw a message from Bow Wow, and Bow Wow said for me it was free. Bow Wow said I ain't have to pay for none of that. It was free on the Dead Homies. That's what Bow Wow said. He said on the Dead Homies, I ain't have to pay nothing. But guess what? They get somebody who, hopefully I'm not one of them old men, who old and messed up and got a whole bunch of money that I don't know what to do with, and I trick it off. I hope I don't be that dude. I don't think I am, because I'm not there right now. But I don't know why cats do that. They have these women thinking that, I don't know, man. I don't want to say the wrong thing, man, because I got people around me. but they have women thinking that they are more than what they are. Like, they could just get money and pay for nothing. Like, are you helping me build my business? Are you contributing to my growth? Are you contributing to our net worth? Like, what are you actually doing with those funds? Like, if I get, yeah, of course, of course, I know you want to save. If you're taking care of the household, if you're taking care, of the kids, what I'm saying, if you making me feel like a king type of thing, yeah, I'm gonna make sure you're taken care of, but not no 50,000. I'm priced out. When you said 50, I was almost priced out. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hold on, 50 what? Oh, nah, I'm out of there. I can't do it. I can't do it. But this is insane, man. And you saw Ian had to take off his headphones. Like, hey, man, like this is crazy. This is crazy. Shit. Anyway, I'll let you hop in, cuz
I mean, she can only speak that way because, maybe it's from experience. She can get it from someone. But, most guys that don't have it are willing to pay that. But also what comes with that is a lot of constraints on her. So she's talking like, yeah, this is what it takes. If I do this myself, then if you can't do it for me, then what are we together for? To me, that's manipulation right there. Because you take care of yourself a certain way doesn't mean I have to do it as well. I don't have to do that for you. If you can do it for yourself, then why do I need to do that? Well, what are you here for? I'm here because you want me here and I want to be here. I'm not here to take care of you. It's not the reason why I'm here. This is a mutual thing. Do you feel like you are better than me, so that's why I need to pay you this for me being here? So it's just a mentality. After so long, people can get away with it for so long, and once they can't get away with it anymore, you'll start to see those tunes change. Right now, she's having fun. As my boy, the late great Kevin Samuels would say, "Hey, looks run out. When your looks run out, then what you gonna have? You're gonna be saying the same thing, when you get older and stuff start falling, stretching away. Yeah, you can get work done, but that work only goes so far. That work has expiration too. So just hearing that mentality is like, yeah, those are the ones you want to stay away from, because there's only superficial things that you're thinking about, doing and doing to yourself. And the relationship is superficial, because if it's only, a transaction or currency, then it has nothing to do with me and you, really. It's just a circumstance of, what can I get out of this person monetarily? Not what can I get from this person in terms of experience, being with this person, relations wise. If we're together and we're invested, mind, body, spirit, then maybe those things can happen collectively to where we can make that type of money together. Versus me just paying you because you feel like that's what you deserve. For me having your time. That's you. Making money like you at a job or something. You can do better, or you can go somewhere else and make this amount. Well, go do that. Or if you're already doing this for yourself, then what do I need to do it for you? So anyway, that's my take.
I'm sorry. Yes, sir. So, I think part of the other problem is that these type of women, they like to do that. Oh, my bad. Let me put myself up there. They like to, other women like to amen them. You know what I'm saying? They like to, do whatever that thing is they do with their fingers. I don't know which finger it is. You know what I'm saying? Clock it and all that other stuff. And make them think that they could do the same thing. So but y'all know y'all not created equal. I mean, maybe she could do it, you know what I'm saying? But you don't try it. My $50 girls, y'all don't try it, man. Hey. Everybody needs somebody, man. We need y'all $50 women to stay down here. All jokes aside, man, I think this causes another problem. And I kind of missed the tail end of what you said because somebody called me. I apologize. But I think that women get a misunderstanding of where they place it. Like, you ask a woman now, like, rate yourself from 1 to 10. What they saying, cuzzo?
Should they normally saying like a 7, 8, 9, 10, mostly 8s, 9s, and 10s. I've never heard of 10, but you normally hear 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, I done heard it multiple times 10.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, some of y'all 2.5s. but because a guy who you thought was attractive laid you down or put you on your knees, you know what I'm saying? You feel like you a 10. He ain't really had no conversation with you. He ain't really try to build nothing with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was it. And so now you rate yourself higher than what you really are. Guess what? A 5 is average. Nothing wrong with being average. Nothing wrong with being average. But you rate yourself higher because you had an interaction with somebody who you thought was attractive or who was out of your league. What is going on? There's some noise in here. And so that happens a lot of times. And, you know, women have a misconception of where they actually rate at. You know, like if you a 6 or 7, you up there. Now, if you a 10, like you the top of the top, like you exceptional, like, and women like to say, oh, I think my personality is great. No, it's not just about, we're not talking about your personality, we're just talking about straight looks. Don't bring personality. So you saying personality take you down to a 2 or 3? Anyway, man, I'm gonna leave that alone. We're gonna jump out of there. It's the last thing, because we don't have to spend a whole lot of time on this. I forgot we had Jasmine Crockett, but we'll talk about this right here. Let me see.
First off, the war with Iran. Israel has launched what it's calling a broad wave of strikes overnight. The IDF says it's targeting the Iranian regime's infrastructure in Tehran. And the IDF also released this video of what it says are strikes on a Hezbollah target in Lebanon. Chaos has erupted in Beirut after Israel ordered hundreds of thousands of people to evacuate. And President Trump says he must have a role in choosing Iran's next leader, calling the son of the late Ayatollah Ali Khamenei unacceptable. Yesterday, Trump told reporters he's happy with how the operation is going.
The United States military, together with the wonderful Israeli partners, continues to totally demolish the enemy far ahead of schedule and at levels that people have never seen before.
And yesterday, the House voted down a resolution meant to limit President Trump from taking further military action in Iran. The measure failed in a 212 to 219 vote. 4 Democrats voted against the resolution, and 2 Republicans voted for it. And CBS News has exclusively learned that Iran appeared to surveil the center in Kuwait, where 6 American service members were later killed. According to a U.S. Army Central memo, Iranian intelligence was likely able to identify and track U.S. forces moving off military installations as a part of the Pentagon's Force Protection Plan. CBS News foreign correspondent Ramy Inocencio is tracking the latest on the conflict from our London bureau. Ramy, good morning.
I'll stop it right there. So, Cuzzo, what do you think about all the stuff going on, and any insight on why you think it started, etc.?
To be honest, I don't think about it, but what I will say about it is, you know, we know why this is really happening. This is not something that, you know, we want to happen. We don't even understand the reason why it's happening, you know, but they seem to have a reason for it happening, which is Israel, you know, and America is backing Israel. So that's why we're involved. The end. They want to take over more territory. The end.
Yeah.
There's no magic. There's nothing special to say. That's the reason.
No razzle dazzle.
No razzle dazzle. No frazzle. You know.
Yeah.
Straight up and down, like 6 o'clock.
What about 12?
Well, that's not straight up and down. That's only up.
Why is 6 up and down?
Because the big hand is on the 12 and the little hand is on the 6. So that's up and down.
Oh, okay. Valid. there's obviously some things that we don't actually know because we are not in those rooms to know. There are some things that we can speculate on. We talk about Venezuela, now Iran, and I think that there's some things that kind of make sense. And I'm not saying, I mean, I agree with your first initial, story, your beginning and end, straight up and down, explanation. There was this, I think it's a show, Jack Ryan, I think that's the name of the show. And so there was a scene from the show, and in the show they were talking about, I'm sorry, Jack Ryan was in the front of the class, I guess he was a guest lecturer or something like that. Have you seen that episode? Are you muted? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've seen that clip.
Yeah. And so you know how when he was saying what's the biggest threat to the US, and one of them was, well, people were saying China, some people were saying Russia, and as we know, like, China and Russia are probably two of our biggest adversaries. But he said, has anybody thought about Venezuela? And he talked about Venezuela like being right in our back door, and also Venezuela selling gold. I'm sorry, not gold, selling resources, particularly oil, to China and Russia, to engage in a war. You need, oil. Like, that's one of the main factors, one of the big things that you need, right? But then also with Iran was helping to, one, they were having nuclear weapons. That's what was said. I don't know for sure, but they were also giving the technology to create drones to Russia and the infrastructure. And so from those things, and this is just my explanation, yes, it's what you said, but also I think it was two things. I think it was one, I'm Big Brother, I don't know how we related. I don't know how we related, but some brothers, you know what I'm saying? So, but I'm Big Brother, when you need help, I'm gonna step in and help you out. You know what I'm saying? Guess what? I don't know what they did to you. Oh, you want that? Guess what? You want that bike? And it's his bike. Okay, I'm going to take that bike from him because you want it. It's some of that going on, but then also too, I think from information that I received, it's like cutting the resources off from an adversary to limit the harm that they could do. Because I mean, honestly, as far as people, like, China is really the only like country that could rock with, mess with us. You know what I'm saying? And as far as like from that standpoint, that's what I gather why this happened. Those two things, Big Brother stepping in, and also too, like, we'll cut off the resources of these countries that continue to be a thorn in our side, or continue to be forces that could harm us if they get too strong. And I know that's why like we look at like the military. They have so much money that they spend on creating different technology to advance us in these cases, because a lot of times it's not boots on the ground anymore. It's like drones. You know what I'm saying? It's like other technology, that are able to like wipe people out like right away. I mean, hopefully this ends shortly, soon, expeditiously, because I don't want any more people to be harmed. I don't want any of this to escalate even further, because it's not good. One, it takes money from our pockets. I heard people are already starting to raise gas prices because they're trying to monopolize off of what potentially could happen, which is wrong. But then on the other side of that, I think that it's not good for us to stay in it, because more people could be hurt. And so I hope this comes to an end soon. And I mean, hopefully we get out of the clutches of them. I don't know if that's going to happen in our lifetime, but every president have seemed to been under that thumb. So anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Any closing remarks, Cuzzo?
Yes, indeed. As always, it's a pleasure to join you every Friday, Cuzzo. Appreciate you holding it down. Once again, my apologies for being tardy. Enjoy your weekend, people, because as we, go forward, there are going to be many things that continue to happen, many things that are made to happen to distract you, to divide us. So always understand that point, and then, really figure out how not to be manipulated by things that you cannot control. Only focus on what you can control. Doesn't matter how high something is, how low something is. At the end of the day, only thing that matters is what you can do about you and your situation, and that's basically it. So that's my time. That's my spiel. Every Friday, 4:00. You already know the deal. Two favorite Cuzzos. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. Shout out to you, Cuzzo. I understand, we all have things going on, so we appreciate your apology, but it's not needed. We know, we understand. But anyway, my 2 cents. We appreciate y'all who stayed tuned for the entirety of the show. Those who hopped in for a few minutes, we appreciate you. I shout out to the new subscribers to the show. We got like 7 or 8 new subscribers in the last week or two. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to each and every person that viewed our videos, who shared our videos, who liked the video. We appreciate you. And man, like, hit us up in the comments, man, if you want to see us talk about something else. We are California boys, so I'm going to try to remain have some local information that we could share with you guys as it relates to us, but also we want to talk about things that are affecting us across this country and then even nationally. So we appreciate you guys. Please like, comment, subscribe. With that being said, your 2 favorite cousins, episode number 7, season 2. We out this thing. Peace.